Hi everyone, my name is Carly Wilson and I am an undergraduate research fellow in Dr. Pangelinen's lab. And today I will be presenting our research entitled High Levels of Moderate to Vigorous Physical Activity Reduce Sleep Problems in Children and Adolescents with Autism Spectrum Disorder. To begin, daytime physical activity is associated with improved sleep efficiency in typically developing individuals, although no studies have been conducted assessing those of different special populations, such as those with ASD. Sleep problems and problems with achieving the recommended amount of physical activity are two issues commonly reported in those with ASD. Although interventions aimed at improving physical activity may also improve sleep quality in children and adolescents with ASD. Therefore, the aim of our specific study was to investigate the relationship between daytime physical activity and sleep quality in children and adolescents with and without autism spectrum disorder. For our study, physical activity and sleep were quantitatively measured using actigraphic accelerometers that were worn on the hips of the participants during a 3-week summer camp. We collected data from 3 separate time points, including during camp, after camp, and sleep. We also assessed daytime moderate to vigorous physical activity and sleep efficiency, which was quantified by minutes in bed of sleep, divided by total minutes in bed, and multiplied by 100. At the bottom of this slide, you can see our participant list, noting that we had 15 typically developing individuals, 15 individuals with ASD, and for both populations, the mean age did tend to be around the same. This brings us to the results section. On the y-axis of camp and after camp, you can see moderate to vigorous physical activity displayed in minutes, and for sleep, you can see sleep efficiency displayed in percent, and for the x-axis, they're all the same for all three. The typically developing population are displayed in black circles. Meanwhile, the population of those with ASD are displayed as blue X's. This is individualized data, although some data points overlap, which makes it a little bit difficult to see each and every participant. It is also worth noting that 2 of our participants with ASD and 2 of our participants without ASD did rotate through the different exercises with a special educator or physical educator just to keep them adequately on task. All of our children, aside from 1, achieved between 55 to 120 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity during camp, keeping in mind that the recommended daily MVPA is 60 minutes. After camp, it was shown that there was an additional 20 to 115 minutes of MVPA being achieved, meaning that we were seeing at least 75 to 235 minutes spent in MVPA per day of our participants. And interestingly enough, none of these children exhibited sleep disorders, which, just to remind you, the prevalence of sleep disorders in those with ASD is about 40 to 80%, so that was definitely worth noting. Continuing on with the results, these graphs are group-based data instead of individualized data. The X and Y axes stay the same, and the typically developing population can be shown in the white boxes. Meanwhile, the population of those with ASD can be shown in the blue boxes. What we see from these graphs was that there was no group differences in the moderate to vigorous physical activity achieved during camp or after camp across the 3 weeks. There were no group differences in sleep efficiency across the 3 weeks. And unfortunately, there was no significant correlation between moderate to vigorous physical activity and sleep efficiency, although this may be due to the fact that all of our participants did begin with very high sleep efficiencies, and both populations were rotating through the exact same exercises as one another. All right, so this brings us to the discussion. Our participants occurred nearly 2 times the recommended daily MVPA, while only 1 participant with autism spectrum disorder exhibited sleep efficiency under 90%. Unfortunately, no direct relationship between daytime MVPA and sleep efficiency was shown, so that means further investigation is needed with other sleep parameters, including sleep latency, total sleep time, sleep onset, and wake onset. And of course, our small sample does warrant further study, although this is the largest sample to date of quantitatively measured sleep in children and adolescents with ASD. I would like to thank you guys so much for your time, and of course, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or Dr. Pangelinen. Thank you guys so much.